And now for the Midterms Minute, a look at the candidates and races in battleground districts that you need to know about, shout about, and support to make the biggest impact possible in the election on November 6th. As of the release date of this episode, we are 18 days out from Election Day. That's less than 3 weeks of volunteering time left. Early voting is now open in many states, and we've included a link to all early voting information by state in the show notes. We're only highlighting battleground races that are considered toss-ups. However, information for all of the battleground races can be found at bestofleft.com/midterms.
For the next two segments, we're going to focus on toss-up battleground races for the House that we haven't covered yet. Republicans are defending the vast majority of seats in the battleground races across the country, but the so-called red exodus of Republican incumbents leaving office is in Democrats' favor this year. 37 Republican-held seats are now open, and therefore more likely to flip. To take the House, Democrats must flip 24 Republican seats. Now let's dive into some toss-ups.
In Iowa's 3rd District, Democrat Cindy Axne is challenging Republican incumbent Representative David Young. Obama won by 4 points here in 2012, but Trump won by 3 points. Young pissed off his constituents last year when, after saying he was opposed to Trump Care, he voted for it at the last minute. Now he's running unbelievably misleading ads that claim he stood up to his party to protect people with pre-existing conditions. Yeah, keep telling yourself that. Early voting in Iowa began October 8th.
Kansas's 2nd District is an open seat race. Former Democratic State House Minority Leader Paul Davis is facing Republican Army veteran and engineer Steve Watkins. Trump won here by 19 points, but Davis, the Democrat, was recently endorsed by 36 Kansas state Republicans. One can only assume these are the Republicans that woke up to the severe damage extreme conservatism inflicted on their state. Early voting in Kansas began October 17th.
In Kentucky's 6th District, Democratic Marine Corps pilot Amy McGrath is challenging 3-term Republican incumbent Andy Barr. Although Barr won his re-election in 2016 by more than 20 points, McGrath is a strong, nationally admired challenger and is only behind in this deep red district by 2 points, within the margin of error. Of course, Barr is trying to paint McGrath as a radical on abortion, climate, and healthcare. McGrath supports a public option and a Medicare buy-in option, but falls short of backing single-payer. Early voting is not available in Kentucky.
In Maine's 2nd District, Democratic former Marine and State Rep Jared Golden is challenging Republican incumbent Bruce Poliquin. No incumbent has lost an election here since 1916, but before Poliquin won in 2014, Democrats held this seat for 20 years. Obama won here by 9 points in 2012, and Trump won by 10 points. I know you'll be shocked to hear, but Poliquin is also wildly waving around the term radical to make Golden sound scary, for wanting to work toward Medicare for all and expanding Medicaid. Early voting in Maine begins November 1st.
In Michigan's 8th District, former Obama administration official Elissa Slotkin is challenging Republican incumbent Mike Bishop. Trump won here by 7 points. Slotkin, who grew up in Michigan and moved back to start a business after working for the CIA under both Bush and Obama, is being called an outsider recruited by Nancy Pelosi by Bishop's campaign. Slotkin has said she will not support Pelosi as House leader and is not accepting corporate contributions to her campaign. Early voting is not available in Michigan.
And finally, New Mexico's 2nd District is another open seat race because the Republican Steve Pearce is running for governor. Democratic attorney Xochitl Torres Small is facing Republican State Rep Yvette Harrell to take this seat. Trump, Romney, and McCain all won in this district. Harrell is focusing on defunding Planned Parenthood, enforcing immigration laws, and shrinking the government. Meanwhile, Small is focusing on affordable health care, lowering the cost of prescription drugs, and fixing the VA. Small has raised 3 times as much as Harrell in a race where Latino turnout is critical. Early voting in New Mexico starts October 20th.
As a reminder, voter purging is happening across the country, so we urge you to confirm your voter registration ASAP. Visit headcount.org and click Verify Your Registration Status under the Voting Info tab. There you can quickly be directed to your state's specific website to confirm your voter registration. If there's a problem, call 866-OUR-VOTE to report the problem and get guidance. Links to all the information you heard today, as well as additional resources, are linked in the show notes, and today's Midterms Minute, along with all of our election information, can be found at bestofleft.com/midterms. So if making the blue wave a reality in November is important to you, be sure to hit the share buttons to spread the word about supporting Democrats in battleground races across the country via social media so that others in your network can spread the word too.